It all began like countless other discoveries in the history of astronomy, not with a blinding flash of light or an earth-shaking announcement, but with a faint, almost imperceptible flicker. A subtle motion slipped across the deep black of space, so controlled and deliberate that even the most sophisticated tracking systems nearly missed it. Initially, astronomers dismissed it as a comet, perhaps an unusually slow-moving asteroid. But as the observations continued, this object, later named 3I Atlas, defied every attempt to categorize it. It was too geometrically precise to be a natural formation, too eerily silent to be biological, and far too steady to be drifting aimlessly. Scientists immediately drew comparisons to Oumuamua, that mysterious interstellar shard that had puzzled experts years earlier as it tumbled through our solar system. Yet, 3I Atlas was not just another anomaly, it was larger, slower, more methodical, and, as later revealed by the James Webb Space Telescope, far more advanced and possibly even self-aware. When 3I Atlas was finally catalogued, it became evident that this was no ordinary cosmic visitor. Very few objects breach our solar system, and when they do, they whip past at unpredictable angles, never to return. But 3I Atlas moved in a way that felt deliberate. It didn't rush or tumble through the void, it glided. Its trajectory was so smooth and mathematically refined that it almost seemed piloted. The path it cut through our solar system demonstrated an uncanny understanding of gravitational mechanics, allowing it to drift near planets in ways that maximized energy efficiency, as if it had studied our system long before arrival. This alone unsettled astronomers, but what they found next was far more disturbing. When its origin was traced mathematically, the object's path was determined to be statistically impossible without intelligent control. A random cosmic body could not have navigated the minefield of solar radiation spikes, asteroid clusters, and gravitational wells with such calculated precision. It was like watching a chess master move across a board filled with traps, except the master wasn't human. Once the James Webb Telescope locked onto it, scientists eagerly analyzed the data. What they found left even skeptics speechless. The thermal readings didn't match anything known. Instead of erratic bursts of heat like a comet shedding ice, 3I Atlas emitted steady, rhythmic pulses of thermal energy as if broadcasting a signal. Its spectral composition revealed materials never before documented in interstellar objects, hyperreflective compounds that hinted at artificial construction, and internal structures suggesting it was hollow. The most haunting feature, however, was an electromagnetic frequency repeating every 147 seconds, an echo that eerily mirrored the rhythmic output of a known pulsar. But 3I Atlas had no magnetic core, no internal power source. It was imitating something, or perhaps communicating. When the data was cross-referenced with Oumuamua, scientists discovered something chilling. The same pulsar frequency had been faintly detected in Oumuamua's tail before it vanished beyond detection. Only this time, the signal was louder. Back in 2017, Oumuamua had slipped past Earth without fanfare. It carried no tail, no propulsion trail, no clear cause for its strange acceleration. Some claimed it was alien tech, others insisted it was just a quirk of physics, but before the truth could be found, it disappeared. Now, with 3I Atlas in view, the debate was relit. This time, however, the evidence spoke toward something far more deliberate. 3I Atlas wasn't a mirror of Oumuamua, it was its evolution. Bigger, more stable, more precise. Theorists began to whisper that Oumuamua had been a scout, a passive probe sent to gather data. If that were true, then 3I Atlas was more than just a successor, it was an active observer. It wasn't just passing through space, it watched as well as being watched. Official agencies, like NASA, were mum, their statements shrouded in careful scientific phrasing. Leaked communications from independent researchers, however, painted a grimmer picture. A team with the European Space Agency described 3I Atlas as a consciousness engine. The phrase made little sense to the public, but Webb's high-resolution imagery lent the theory weight. The object's internal patterns resembled fractals, complex recursive geometries found both in brain tissue and quantum processors. It was as if the structure itself was designed to think. Scientists began to consider a mad possibility that the object was learning, adapting as it traversed our solar system. Not an artificial intelligence as we understood it, but something systemic, an evolving intelligence, organic in its self-replication. A machine able to reprogram itself through observation. Then, everything changed. Telescopes in Chile and Hawaii caught a sudden shift in 3I Atlas's course, tiny, yet undeniable. It veered off its projected trajectory, angling itself closer to Earth's orbital plane. There was no gravitational force, no solar influence that could account for it. The move was timed too perfectly, executed too intelligently. Within hours, emergency meetings were called at NASA and ESA. Analysts concluded what no one wanted to admit: 3I Atlas had made a decision. Independent cryptographers studying its electromagnetic pulses soon discovered a pattern, a recursive code embedded within the signal itself. Not a message in words, but in ratios. The Fibonacci sequence, golden spirals, prime number intervals, the mathematical signatures of life and creation. Stranger still, the pulse changed subtly when Earth's radio telescopes aimed at it, as though the object recognized it was being watched. When Webb's infrared sensors first captured its image, the pulse altered for 6 seconds, as if acknowledging the attention. Deeper scans revealed that the outer shell of 3I Atlas was home to highly ordered organic molecules, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, precursors to amino acids and the chemical building blocks of life. But unlike the chaotic mixtures found in comets, these were flawless, refined, structured. Some theorized the object was a seed ship, carrying the genesis of life from one world to another. If that were true, then its arrival here might not be accidental. Earth could be its next site of seeding or assimilation. Now that 3 interstellar objects Oumuamua, Borisov, and 3I Atlas had been confirmed, scientists began to note some unsettling patterns: Oumuamua fast and erratic, Borisov comet-like but unusually stable, 3I Atlas massive, slow, engineered. Webb's data showed changes in its reflective surface, as if it was in a constant state of rearrangement adapting. In a much more alarming development, it started emitting a second signal, much lower in frequency and apparently directed not toward Earth but into deep space. Some thought it was calling for reinforcements. Then came the event that shattered every boundary between observation and consequence. A classified atmospheric monitoring balloon over Antarctica picked up a sudden burst of microwave radiation directly above the South Pole. Moments later, seismic sensors recorded matching vibrations deep beneath the ice, vibrations identical to 3I Atlas's pulse frequency. Was it influencing Earth's magnetic field, or awakening something hidden beneath the frozen continent? It was another young analyst at Mission Control who uncovered the next surprise. When charting 3I Atlas's path across ancient Babylonian star charts, he found it crossed perfectly through the constellations long considered sacred: Orion, Draco, the Pleiades. Plotting these intersections over time produced a spiral identical to the symbols carved in prehistoric caves around Africa and South America. Coincidence, or an ancient pattern meant for civilizations capable of recognizing it? Perhaps it wasn't traveling aimlessly but performing a cosmic ritual carrying a message from a forgotten age. As governments grew restless, one new theory began to circulate behind closed doors: the lock and key hypothesis. According to that, Oumuamua was the lock-a-dormant device sent to test the awareness of humanity. 3I Atlas, on the other hand, was the key sent to unlock something. Within days, magnetic field data confirmed a tiny, synchronized oscillation in Earth's magnetosphere perfectly aligned with the object's signal. For 6 minutes, 2 Voyager probes emitted unexplained bursts of data, as if something inside them had awakened. Some theorists went even further. They theorized that 3I Atlas wasn't a ship at all but a mobile gateway, a device with the power to distort spacetime itself. Webb had detected faint gravitational lensing effects around it, the kind that could only occur if time and space were being distorted. Light arriving faster than expected hinted that time was compressing around the object, the signature of a localized time distortion. If true, 3I Atlas could be a moving wormhole, a gate between worlds. Then, the coup de grace arrived. As Webb kept watching, the object started radiating in a narrow frequency band between gamma and soft X-rays, frequencies virtually silent in nature. These pulses were structured much like binary code. Shortly thereafter, several observatories suffered overloads. One in Australia melted its detector chip. We realized, as if with a bout of thunder, that 3i Atlas could blind our instruments, jam our signals, and control what we see. A wave of panic spread through the scientific community as new data started to emerge. The Earth itself had begun to resonate with the object's frequency. Volcanoes, tectonic plates, even migratory animals responded to its pulse. Whole ecosystems appeared to shift as if obedient to some ancient memory. Next came the receipt of a transmission by a private satellite array addressed to the moon from 3i Atlas. It wasn't language but instruction, a structured signal directed at a specific lunar coordinate with high concentrations of dense mass. Many now believe it's attempting to activate something buried within the moon itself. A secret military probe was launched to investigate. It never returned. Just before signal loss, it recorded an energy field, a shimmering lattice that mirrored the probe's image back at itself before cutting communication. 3i Atlas, it seemed, had scanned the scanner. It was shielded, reactive, perhaps even alive. Now, the most haunting question remains. What if 3i Atlas didn't just arrive, it awoke? What if its trajectory was ancient, programmed to intersect with civilizations that reach a certain threshold of awareness? Maybe it isn't watching us at all. Maybe every move it makes is a message not for us, but for something else that's still on its way. And if that's true, we haven't just found an object from beyond the stars. We've triggered a beacon, a lock, a warning, and the universe is listening.